allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any questions about the agenda? I just need a motion to approve.
I will make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Favor. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Public comment.
Are you my secretary?
Yes, so speak slow and use small words. One syllable words.
He has trouble with.
Spelling, please.
Okay, thank you.
Administrative reports, Ms. Jolene.
I just have one budget adjustment. This is for the contract services for quality. I either forgot about them or I've already done the budget before we discussed it. I'm not sure which, but I'm gonna need money to cover that. Other than that, I don't know anything else. Just been kind of adding people's contracts in and new calendar and trying to get ready for the year before everybody shows up. We haven't moved the funds over or carryover in yet, so we're not exactly sure as far as exact dollar figure on everything from last year. I've got to balance everything out before I can do those, do the carryover. Do the fund balances now.
Any questions? Okay. Mr. Barbie?
We've got the filters and belts changed out on our HVAC systems. Look for any other problems. Our fire extinguisher company will be coming here tomorrow, July the 15th, to do the required annual fire extinguisher inspection. Bob Reed Pest Control should be here this week to do the interior campus spraying. Have another sprinkler system company coming Wednesday the 16th to give us another quote for the Chatwin, that area. We got our speed bumps put in last week, and they should slow everybody down pretty good. They're they bounce them pretty good. Gate people ought to be here this week, or they told me they would. Our water softener for the cafeteria should be up and running sometime towards the end of August. We're just waiting, and then I'm waiting on a quote for some roof repair on the high school gym. And then now we're fighting weeds. No, they're big. They grow fast.
Any questions?
Did we get passed for the fire
Yes, sir.
system?
Yes, sir. About the 1st of May somewhere in there, they finally got it all done. Got it, so everything passed. Good for another year.
Any other questions? Special ed or SRO?
Okay, for special education, Mr. Lazard is not here, so right now we are fully staffed for the special education department. We do have a certified special ed teacher at the elementary, and we're also certified at the secondary, and then of course our assistants that would be helping in that area. So we are hoping that everything works out well. We were shortened quite a bit of money for the IDEA application, so I'm just hoping that it doesn't impact significantly. We should be okay.
Is that part of the?
The IDEA, no, but everybody got cuts for IDEA.
questions? Yeah, that's all right.
On the SRO, I just barely got the MOU today. There will be no changes, but then this will have to wait until the next week. Okay, but he is actually, it will be Mr., what's his last name, Childress? Childress, so it will be Mr. Childress again. He just recently attended the NASPO, I believe that's what it's called, the training, for, to be certified for an SRO, and that was in Phoenix, Arizona. So he's fully certified, and he will be joining us again this coming school. But I do have the MOU, but that will not be until next week.
Okay.
Hello, so I'm officially on board now, today. Just some updates over the summer, we did get that K-5 special education role filled and also a preschool educational assistant. I'm continuing interviews for fourth grade and have a few different plans arranged in case we're not able to hire a fourth grade teacher. And then we have switched from looking for a reading interventionist to a math interventionist to see if we have more luck getting some people to apply for that position. But as far as right now, we don't have anybody fill those two positions. This week I'll be working towards setting up the year, helping clean up some policies and changing and schedules and just getting some things organized for the upcoming school year.
Thank you.
For secondary, we did have summer school that wrapped up on June 22nd. It was pretty successful, I think, for all of our middle school and high school students who took part in that. Middle schoolers did reading enrichment with Coach Alex. I think there was about 10 or 12 kids that were here consistently and did that and seemed to really get a lot out of that from the days that I was able to see. High school students, a lot of them were able to receive or recover some credit for their core subjects that they were missing. I think we had 22 that needed it, 17 took part in it. I know that some of them did more than one class, so I don't have like a final count on how much credit was able to be recovered over the summer. They finished that up on June 22nd. Grades have been transcripted. Those are all good to go. I think we had a meeting today and we talked that there's probably 4 coming seniors that still are missing some stuff that that we're gonna work on that when we do schedules. 2 of the 3 high school, two of the 3 seniors who were lacking credit that didn't get to graduate on time with their class, 2 of the 3 finished up what they needed. They're good to go. They'll get their diploma. The other one is still working diligently, but he had a lot more to get done that the summer school wasn't going to be enough for his situation. We'd invited those 2 guys to come here tonight, but they had other things to do, I guess. Our master schedule is complete. Ms. Dunn is working on building shell schedules of core classes for all the kids. And then on next Monday, juniors and seniors can come from 9 to 11 to pick electives. Sophomores and freshmen can come from 1 to 3. We have had a handful of kids reach out because they've got other stuff going on, and we're working with those to get their stuff put together. But everybody should be good to go. Middle schoolers don't have to come do that because everybody gets either athletics and PE, and everybody gets ag in the middle school. And then all the 6th graders will also have art. 8th graders will have a semester of health, which will actually give them high school credit as 8th graders. And it'll be offset with a reading class for those guys. So that's something that we're pretty excited about and I think is going to be good. 7th graders, their electives will have PE, art, humanities class. Kind of is a little bit different if they play sports, don't play sports, and a lot of the 7th graders are involved in at least one sport. So we've got that kind of taken care of, and we're excited about that. We do have the possibility, and we have it built in our schedule now to have a credit recovery period built into our day. We have that flexibility, so hopefully that's going to take some after school issues, and that'll give us some opportunities to get the kids back where they need to be. We are fully staffed with the exception of a middle school social studies teacher for 7th and 8th grade. We have a contingency plan for that. We have a plan A and a plan B. We're hoping for plan A to work out, but if plan B is what we end up with, it's going to be okay. I should know a little bit more by the end of the week what that is going to be. And either way, we're good to go there. We plan to have new staff orientation on Monday from 9 to 1. The rest of the secondary staff will be back on the 28th, 29th, and 30th for their back to school PD and planning. We've had a lot of staff members over the summer take part in various PED opportunities. I know Mr. Parker and Mr. Hempill went to the Ag Teachers Association training last week in Red River. They got to do a lot of really good stuff. I think they had a real variety of PD programming planned there. I know Ms. Raines right now is at a training provided by the Cook Center for Human Connection, which is going to give us a grant-funded programming to work with our middle schoolers on student mental health and suicide prevention. And it was all paid for. We didn't have to pay for her to do that. Coach Rod has a AD training next week. I'm going to go to Incel tomorrow and tomorrow is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Other things that I know, we have 8 Hagerman kids that are going to show livestock next week. 1 elementary, 4 middle school, 2 high school, and 1 graduate, I think, are what we have kids-wise that are showing animals. And I don't know if we have any other kids doing indoor 4-H stuff, but maybe a handful. Letters to all the secondary families went out today via regular mail, kind of sharing the important information with students and parents about when we're coming back to school, school supplies, orientation. We're going to have an orientation on the 28th at 6 p.m. for 6th graders, 9th graders, and then we included if you're new to Hagerman, you might want to come to that too. And then coach is going to do an athletic meeting at 7 p.m. that same night, and we're excited and looking forward to a great school year. Any questions?
Anything to add, Coach?
Kids been going at it full swing. Cross country, basketball, volleyball, football. Everybody's kind of in action right now, getting ready for their respective seasons, and had decent participation throughout each of those. I know volleyball went to a camp last Tuesday, and they're going again tomorrow. Basketball, we went to 2 camps over the summer, and then scrimmaged some alumni. The girls didn't do a whole lot as we're transitioning coaches, and then there's not a whole lot of running to do. And football, Coach Giles doesn't do any 7-on-7s, but he's had the guys out there working on stuff, on the fundamentals, and installing his program.
And lots of middle school girls, it seems like.
Lots of middle school girls are out for volleyball.
12 on my calendar.
Yeah, 12, so we'll have 2 teams of middle school girls, which we haven't had in the last 2 years, something like that, 3 years. Yeah, it's
Double the
crazy.
numbers you have.
And then fall schedules are done, except for cross country. Still waiting on that to get done, but I think it's going to be finalized this week. And then I'll get those out to you guys and post them on websites, stuff like that, so everybody can see. Any questions?
Thank you. Moving on. Next item is approval of the minutes from the meeting on June 16th and any investments and bills for the month of June. Any questions yet? Just need a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. First new item, budget adjustments. Any other questions for Ms. Johnson?
I will make that motion.
I'll second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. Next item is Open Meetings Act. 2526.
Okay, we do this every year during the July meeting, so we're just requesting approval of the Open Meetings Act resolution for the upcoming school year 25-26. And you have a copy, President Moss?
This one?
Yes, sir.
Is there a roll call?
It's not up here. Is it a roll call?
I think so.
I think so. Make a motion to approve.
Moved by Trevor.
You want a roll call?
Roll call, yeah. Trevor?
Yes.
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 This is one you want to sign, sir?
Yes.
Next item is legal counsel discussion.
Okay, so we discussed this briefly at our previous meeting, but it was decided to table this. So I just want to let you know that I received a letter from our legal partners, Cuddy and McCarthy. You know, this was back in May regarding the change in the representation. So Laura Castillo, who has represented Hagerman Municipal Schools on several legal matters, she left the firm to continue her own law practice with, it's called Castillo Law. As clients, you know, we have the right to decide whether we wish to continue being represented by Cuddy and McCarthy or, you know, having Laura Castillo represent our district through her new firm. So, you know, it is important to note that Cuddy, they recently experienced significant staffing. And they lost many of the attorneys who previously handled school-related cases. So this change may affect their capacity to serve our school and then many other districts at the level that we have come to expect. However, you know, with Cuddy and McCarthy, they will continue, you know, if this is what you want to do. They have represented us with, specifically when it comes to bond-related legal services. And for those purposes, you know, they will continue to represent us with that. So there will be no changes with that. But then, you know, for all the other legal matters concerning the school district, we now have the option to either continue with Cuddy or change and continue with Laura, who is well-versed in our operations and, you know, again, she knows her current legal matters. So I am open to discussion on how we want to proceed with the legal representation. Do you want to share your input? Or we could, you know, share this, discuss this further later. I mean,
So Laura did send something?
Laura didn't send me anything.
She didn't send one.
No, we've talked. And so she did say that, you know, ultimately it's up to us. However, with Cuddy, they lost quite a few of their attorneys. And Tricia. Mhm. So we can have, she retired, yes. That's the lady that.
Oh, the
they did
mariachi,
mariachis.
all the things, yeah.
So, I mean, it's up to you. We can continue with Cuddy. I'm sure that they will, you know, they will hire attorneys. But again, if we go with Laura, it would be strictly just legal representation, nothing to do with the bonds. So, you know, related to the bond sales, et cetera, it will still be Cuddy and McCarthy.
Until like the next one.
Mhm.
We can do
Also by contract for Cuddy for one more bond.
So, for bond, yes. And I don't even know if Laura will be able to do anything, you know, the bond, or maybe all she's gonna do is just representation, legal representation. So in reality, we can stay with both firms, one to represent us legally and then the other one for bond.
Did she say what her rates are gonna be?
I would have to talk to her and, you know, it all depends of usage.
Should we look somewhere else?
We could. If we could. I mean, there's Samora, there's Ortiz. If you want me to do that, I can definitely look into that and then maybe next month I can have that prepared.
If we're gonna look, I think it's best to look at all of them.
No, absolutely, I totally agree with you. Okay.
Say look at good rates. So kind of know.
And if Laura's able to do the bond stuff for when our
In the
contract,
future,
our contract expires with Cuddy,
okay. So we can table this again and then have it, I'll have that information ready for.
We have representation right now, I think, right?
Yes, we do. We still have cut. We haven't cut it. Knock on wood, hopefully we won't need it. Never know.
I move to table this, until next meeting, we have more information.
Okay, so you want me to look into the other firms?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Move the table by.
Okay.
I'll second. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say next item is sick bank policy.
Okay, so, basically, we have, we adopted the new policies from NMSBA. However, it doesn't really have a specific policy for the sick leave, bank policy. And this one here, it's really not a new policy. Basically, it's just an amendment. So the purpose of this, of the sick leave bank, is to establish and provide eligible employees of Hagerman Municipal Schools with additional paid leave days in the event of serious personal illness, catastrophic illness, or injury, or medical condition that requires extended hospitalization or home confinement to that employee. So the sick leave bank only applies after all personal leave has been exhausted. So the Board of Education, by adopting the sick leave bank policy, expressly reserves the right to change, modify, or terminate any or all provisions of the policy at any time it deems necessary. The Board of Education does not intend for the sick leave bank to create a trust relationship among the participating employees and/or employees and the board, nor does the board intend to create a contract right which not to be modified or extinguished in the future. Rather, the board intends to create a means of collectively protecting, to some limited extent, individual participating employees from the detrimental effect of absences from the job without pay due to those reasons outlined in the policy. The policy also provides an opportunity for qualifying employees to voluntarily donate leave to another qualified employee. This option requires, and there's the policy rule in MSBA. Okay, and then effective beginning in the 2025-2026 school year. So here's the eligibility. All full-time employees of Hagerman Municipal Schools are eligible to participate in the sick leave bank. Participation is voluntary and is subject to the terms outlined in this policy. So the enrollment, employees may enroll in the sick leave bank annually during the open enrollment period, which is August the 1st through October the 1st. Enrollment requires the donation of 1 day of personal sick leave to the bank. This donation is non-refundable and must be renewed each year to maintain eligibility. Administration. The sick leave bank shall be overseen by a sick bank committee composed of 1 district administrator appointed by the superintendent, 2 certified staff members, 1 elementary, 1 secondary, 1 non-certified member elected by the staff. The committee is responsible for reviewing applications and determining eligibility and the number of days to be granted. The committee will send a recommendation to the superintendent. So the use of sick leave bank days. A member of the sick leave bank may apply for days only after all of their accumulated leave, their sick leave, personal leave, vacation has been exhausted. A minimum of 10 days may be granted per request and a maximum of 20 days per school year, subject to committee approval and the availability of days in the bank. Days may be requested for the employee's own serious medical condition, catastrophic illness or injury, accident, or for illness of immediate family members who reside in the same address as the employee. Medical documentation from licensed healthcare provider is required and must include a diagnosis and estimated length of recovery. The days will not be granted retroactively for absence prior to the approval. The days will not be granted consecutive years. The application process. So the employer must submit a sick leave bank request form and support documentation to Human Resources. Recommended changes, if any, will be submitted to the superintendent and school board for approval. A sick bank committee will review the requested within 5 business days of submission. The decision of the sick bank committee is final and not subject to grievance or appeal. Exclusions. Routine medical checkups, dental, or vision care does not qualify. Maternity leave may qualify only in cases of medical complications documented by a physician. Abuse or misuse of the sick leave bank may result in disciplinary action and loss of sick leave bank privileges. The rest of it is just definition for the, like what does it mean? Sick leave bank, catastrophic illness, serious injury, immediate family member. So, and then leave donation, what all of those are just definitions. So basically, we do have a policy in place for the sick leave donation, but it doesn't specify, and we need something clear. So we need to have some limitations of what the employees can get, because there's been some employees that have requested quite a bit, and so there's got to be a limitation. So we definitely need this. I mean, we have people that have been requesting leave for 3 or 4 consecutive years. So with this, it's not a new policy. Basically, it's just an amendment of what we have. But there's got to be limitations that you can only use in 1 year, and it's not going to be year after year after year.
This will just be for our NMSBA.
Yes.
Questions? I think it's good to have that.
We definitely need to have this because we need to have guidelines.
Having been on the committee, I would agree.
Yes. I have this one here. I don't know if those are stapled, but I have this one.
I have one.
Okay.
Staple, but it don't matter. It's your concept.
Is it pre-planned?
No, because it's only an amendment,
Okay.
so it's not a new policy. Thank you.
All right, next item is school design. Sanjay, I saw you was on. And Juan. And Adriana.
And Adriana.
You're here.
Yes, I'm here.
How's it going?
It's going great. How are you all?
Good.
Feels like long time no see.
Yes, sir. It's been a minute, huh?
Let me see if I can share. 1 second. Give me 1 second, please.
Yes, sir.
You should be able to share, Sanjay.
Yeah, that's what I was having trouble with. Let me figure it out. Give me 1 second.
Get there on the bottom, Sanjay. Third from the
Yeah.
left button.
Yes, it just completely froze on me. Give me 1 second.
No worries. That was amazing. I think just kudos to the board. This is the first time that they said be here at this time and you will present. And sure enough, it's 6:30 and you guys are ready for us to go. So
There you go.
it was amazing.
It usually doesn't go this quick.
And let me know, Sanj, if I need to get onto the server and just download it to be
For
ready.
some reason, the Google Chrome is just freezing up.
Okay. No worries. Well, I think, while Sanjay is definitely pulling that up, I'd like to start off by saying, we're very excited to present tonight's update for the new school. If there has been one thing that has just been amazing about this project has been the participation from your design committee and your school staff. I just wanted to give a big kudos, of course, to Ms. Reyes and all the work that her and her committee have been doing. And we are more than elated to show you guys tonight all the hard work they've been putting in for decisions to make on the new school. So thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah.
Is there a copy saved on the server? So while we pull that up, Ms. Reyes, I don't know if there's another agenda item you wanted to move towards, but maybe you can come back to us in about 5 minutes if that works. We don't want to hold you guys up.
Can we move to the superintendent report?
There we go.
Okay.
Is yours more than 5 minutes?
Guess we're gonna find out.
And,
Okay, so I'll try to be brief. So, Destry, a while ago, you inquired about the freeze of the federal title funds. So unfortunately, this is going to be, and it can be a significant impact. Especially because, many of the school districts in the states, particularly us here, like Hagerman, we are rural and low-income areas. We rely heavily on federal support. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen. I'm hoping that this coming week, I do have a meeting in Albuquerque, and I'm hoping that they will be able to provide us with more information about this freeze. The bottom line is that right now we have freeze in several programs, Title I, Title II, Title III, which we don't really get Title III, but we do get the migrant education program. And, we been trying to hire, and Mrs. Mercedes said that we've been trying to hire a reading interventionist or math interventionist that would be paid through Title I funds. However, right now, because there's a freeze, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that we have to, we just haven't found that person, but I'm hoping that, we do. And so the Title I, there's lots of funding for reading, math interventions, paraprofessionals, and support staff, and basically the funding that we use, that it goes towards that. So there will be a disruption to supplemental programs for at-risk students, ELL students, so the reduced extended learning time for the after-school programs, tutoring, summer programs. I'm hoping that this is something that it's just temporarily, and we will be able to get our funding now. We will be able to use our carryover funds from previous years, but that would not be able to, we won't be able to sustain and go, much further. So the Title II, it's a delay in professional development sessions. That's where we usually use those funds. And then we also use to cover the teachers, a couple of teacher salaries, partial. And then, of course, it will be a delay in stipends for leadership roles or teacher development. We use stipends. We have mentors in each building, so we use this grant to pay for that. And then, so the Title III we don't get, but we do have the migrant. So there is a halt for support the migrant students, including tutoring. We don't use transportation for them, but we do provide them with supplies. So there's going to be delays in identification and recruitment efforts, summer programs. So we don't know what's going to happen. So, the districts we may have to cover the costs temporarily or be able to use some of the carryover funds because those we're able to use, or probably use operational funds, which it will, in the long run, it will put some pressure on already a tight budget. So then, of course, staffing decisions, and so we haven't been able to hire a math interventionist for the reading interventionist, but then we've got to put this on hold until the freeze is resolved. And then, planning for the school year, so especially for those programs that rely on title funds, we do have 2 positions that we actually pay, 2 positions from the elementary that we use Title I funds for that. And then I believe it's a couple of teacher assistants that we also use Title I's to pay for them. And then we just hope that everything, gets settled pretty soon. I will have more information when I go to the meeting. I have a superintendent meeting on Thursday. The only thing that we can do right now is just continue communicating with PED. There is we got a notification, and I sent you a letter. If you have it in your packet, it's a letter from the Secretary of State, but then we also have, there is some survey that we need to do, and the survey goes directly to the legislators. So we're hoping that they, put a stop to this, and I don't even know if they have any control over all of this, but it could actually impact significantly. So we're just hoping that this is only temporarily and we'll be able to get it funding. Okay, so staffing updates. Cody, pretty much in Mrs. Braseda, they discuss about the staffing positions for 25-26 school year. So several positions have been filled. We are still looking for a few positions. And again, we definitely need to make sure that we have the highly qualified and committed educators, people that want to be here with us. So professional development, we start July 28th. I know it's rather early. Today we had a very, very long
But productive.
admin. It was very productive admin meeting with the administrators, and I feel very confident. Carmen was telling me, Mrs. Reyes, you have a good staff. I said, yes, I do. I have a good staff and committed staff. So I think it's going to be amazing. So all the staff will be participating in professional development on July 28th and the 29th. And the elementary, they will be on the 28th, and this is the entire elementary. They will be doing, I believe it's called U-Fly, Mrs. Braseda, and it's part of the structural literacy. On July 28th, I would like to extend a warm invitation to all of you here, board members, so that you can join us for breakfast and just to have an opportunity to meet the staff. And then for those of you that came last year, you just had a little speech just to welcome the staff, and don't be afraid of that. I mean, it's not going to be anything big, but if you, Chris, if you can come, I, just would love to have you here, and then, yeah, that way you just welcome the staff, and then you meet with them. So, breakfast will be at 7:30 in the morning, and then at 8 o'clock, we will meet in the auditorium. So again, your presence is greatly appreciated as we kick off the school year. Let's see, the first day of school, the students in grades K-12 will begin school on Wednesday, July 31st. I know this is rather early. Our pre-K students will begin on Monday, August the 4th. So we're just excited to welcome everybody. School supply lists, those lists are posted on Class Dojo and then the Hagerman School website. Hopefully, this will help the families prepare for the first day of school. And then just want to give you an update, the Youth Challenge update. Hagerman Municipal Schools will no longer be providing services to the Youth Challenge students this year. So we have communicated this change in our insurance, a smooth transition for them and for us. So open house, August the 12th, our district-wide open house will be held on Monday, August the 12th. Is it a Monday? Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. I can't.
I think you're right.
I think it's
Tuesday,
Tuesday,
12th,
August the 12th. So, in addition to visiting classroom and meeting teachers, the parents and the community members will hear a presentation from Decker Sabatini on the exciting progress and the vision of our new school facility. So I'm looking forward to that. So we hope for a pretty strong turnout and a positive start of the school year. Okay, we discussed the SRO, so the MOU, it will be at the next board meeting. And finally, I'd like to let you know that this Friday, we finally had our school sale. All the old equipment that we had, I didn't think we had a lot of people, but sale-wise, we made $7,150. So it was really good. It was really good. And I mean, this was stuff that had probably been there. I always say the Cretaceous period, pretty old stuff. But I always say that, our junk could be somebody else's treasure. And we did. I gotta tell you this, but anyways, maybe it's irrelevant, but we sold a set of speakers that have been there for a long time. And now they're being sold.
They're advertised.
They're being advertised for $2,000. I'm like, oh wow, but you know what? We got rid of them. That's okay. That's okay. If somebody else can make some money out of it, that's perfectly fine.
Those big black speakers that my mom used to carry around.
Just like that.
I like that one. It might have been your mom's, I'm not sure.
Look at the schools.
Oh, okay, yeah,
She just
probably
carried
were.
them around for all these years.
Similar.
And I just want to let you know that we got the approval from the state auditor, and they already had a list of everything that was approved. This money will be deposited into the operational account. So we actually did really good. We had a lot of those welders. We did really good with that sale.
Most of it was gone by 9 o'clock.
Oh, yes. Now, we still have a lot of stuff, and I'm hoping that we'll just be able to get rid of all of that. And then this is the first one of many more to come, and especially with the new school, and we definitely don't need a lot of the stuff.
The stuff that didn't sell, what,
So,
does it go to junk now?
not everything. So the custodians, and they were they were very, very helpful. Thanks to them, the boys that help with the summer school, or not summer school, but the summer work, and then maintenance. Everybody just came together and helped out. I was the cashier. I was the cashier, and they're like, I don't need a receipt. I said, I have to give you a receipt. So, anyways, but we all came together, and we do have a lot of stuff. I mean, we cleared a lot, but we still have quite a bit. I have a couple of people that call me, and they would like to come in, and if we give them a good deal, they might be able to take some of that, and I'm okay with that, because it needs to go. It really needs to go. Other than that, I think we might be able to store some of it, and when we have another sale, then we'll try to pull it out and sell it again. It was great, so thank you for everybody who came and contributed to this, and it was successful. It was a lot of work. Right, Gary?
Yes,
And that's all I have. I stand for questions.
Good. Thank you.
Sanjay, it's all yours.
Didn't make that.
Can you hear me okay?
That you made it. Over here.
Can you hear me okay there?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
I'm trying to make
Thank
you all
you.
full screen.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Change the view so you only see the speaker.
Is this thing not working? Is that mine or?
Daniel, can you make it a full screen
You can hit those three dots right there.
On this or
Yeah,
on Sanjay?
By the,
by the phone?
by the.
There.
A little bit.
Not much.
All right.
Maybe if you get the lights, you can see it better.
Oh yeah, there was.
You can change the three dots too. You can go,
Which one?
three dots.
Again? These ones?
Yeah, and then go change layout. And then, stop that.
There it is.
Okay. All right, we're good.
Okay. So let's get started. To begin with, thank you, board president, members of the board, Superintendent Ms. Reyes, for giving us this opportunity to present. And right off the bat, I also need to apologize for the technical hiccup that we had. So we wanted to be there a little early to get started on time, but sure enough, technology had its own mind. But anyway, we just wanted to give you a quick update of everything that has happened on the exciting Hagerman project so far. So with that said, we have put together a quick agenda for today's meeting. We'll do some quick introductions for the Decker team, who you will be working with and are currently working, but it will be another year and more that you will be working with us. Also want to talk to you a little bit about where we are on the project schedule, discuss the scope, a little bit about design process, how we are moving forward from programming into design, show you the scheme that the design committee has selected and authorized us to move forward with, and then we'll wrap up the meeting with some next steps. You have met some of us, but I will go through some quick introductions. You know me, I am Sanjay Kadu. I am the design principal and the chief design officer for Decker. And for our Hagerman project, I will be the principal in charge. So, in other words, the buck stops with me. If you like something, let me know. More importantly, if you don't like something, please let me know. Juan?
Oh, good evening, everyone. It's great to see you all. My name is Juan Dorado. I will be the design leader for your project. I'm a principal at Decker as well. I'm originally from Loving, New Mexico, so I'm very familiar with Dexter, Hagerman, all these areas that we grew up competing against each other, and some folks in our design committee as well. We also competed against each other back in 2006 and 5, so it was a really good time. So I'm happy to be a part of this project, and I look forward to continuing to work with you guys all the way to the end.
Juan. We also have Jose Luis, who is our project manager for the project, supported with our technical and design leadership with Cindy. Cindy is a senior project architect, and we chose her for the Hagerman project mainly because of the multi-phase project and the complexity of it. We also have Adriana, who is our technical lead. Adriana, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Adriana. I work with the Decker team and actually remotely from Puerto Rico. So that's something different from the rest of the team, but I'm always here and available to help in anything that's needed. And I'm very excited to work on this project with you.
Thank you. In addition to the core team that you have met so far, as we move further into design, we'll extend our team with Jess, who is our in-house interior designer. We also have in-house landscape and campus planners with Chris, and then in-house structural engineering supported with our principal of structural engineering group, Andrew Grunstrom. And Victor Soto is also now joining our team as we expanding our team internally to bring more force as we go from initial design into further design development. Along with the key Decker team, we also have Bridges and Paxton, who will be our mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineers, along with Bohan and Houston, who will be doing the site grading and the civil engineering aspect of the project. When I was having technical difficulties, I heard Juan thanking the design committee. But again, I do want to take this opportunity to formally and officially, one more time, thank the entire building committee that you have put together. Uh, Without their support, their passion, and dedication, we would not have been in a great position that we are. We have board members, we have Superintendent Mitch Reyes, we have the staff, and more importantly, we even have student represented as part of the design committee. And further down my presentation, I will talk to you about how at the last meeting last Wednesday, one of our students from Hagerman had a great idea, and you can already see how the design is being influenced by it. So again, a big round of applause and thank you very much to the entire design committee. We have a design process, but more importantly, every presentation we have this slide which proudly talks about the mission and vision of Hagerman. Because to us, this is the driving design force as we move along the design process. At Decker, we have a very defined design process. It starts with discovery, trying to understand you, programming, schematic design, design development, construction documentation, and of course, after that, as we all know, we go into bidding and construction documentation. And very happy to inform the school board that we are right on schedule with our overall schedule assigned for the project. The programming phase has been completed. Currently, we are in schematic design, which will be wrapping up towards the end of July. And then at every step, as you know, we have to submit a package to PSFA for their formal approval, allowing us to move forward into the next design phase. A little bit of some amazing news. I'm sure you all know this. Just repeating, the overall scope when we came on board was to design a replacement pre-K to 12 school for 375 students for a total area of 69,732. But during programming, we were informed that the student count is actually 420. And again, I do want to thank specifically Superintendent Ms. Reyes and the design committee. Because of your input and passion, we were able to make a solid case to the state. And as you can see, the area allowable for the new school is almost 20,000 square feet over the original approval number of 69. So now the building has been designed for 420 students for allowable area of 89,406 gross square feet. And of course, once the new building is up and running, the existing campus and all the facilities will be demolished. Here's just a quick copy of the official approval that PSFA has granted. You can see the new student population noted here of 420 on the right hand side one, just above the red box, and the allowable area of 89,406. Juan, do you want to go over programming? Before
Yes,
Juan,
yeah.
you go
Can
over
everyone?
I
Yeah,
just
can you
want
hear
to
me
say
okay?
if the board members had any question that I
Oh,
missed
yes.
till
Yeah.
now.
I think we're good, Sanjay.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Juan.
I don't know. Thank you, Sanjay. I'm sorry. Can everybody hear me okay there?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I wanted to just take you through our accomplishments to date. It's kind of ironic that I got the programming spreadsheet or programming update portion of the project because this is one of my favorite parts and pieces. And by the end of the design committee was ready to move on to something fun like design. But we did have a lot of great discussion when we started thinking about what your new campus size would be and the requirements you had to have for your new facility that would best reflect the use and for not just day one, but for the next 50 years of your new campus. And so the committee did a great job in going back and forth and helping to establish what spaces numerically would be within the new facility itself. We also talked through during the programming process just really important adjacencies that we need to think about for your campus. Of course, we know the cafeteria adjacent to the kitchen, or cafeteria and kitchen should be adjacent to the gym. The nurses suite close to the administration area were some big ones, but then just in relation to parent pickup and drop off and team buses for after hour use and community use of the facility, all of this input really came from your design committee that helped to inform what you're going to see as far as an updated design for tonight. And we were happy to report that the building will be fully utilized, but with room to grow whenever the school opens. So we always program for a certain amount of students that are within the award at 420, but leave flexibility in case there is growth within Hagerman, so you can serve additional students about 15 to 20% more than the count, just in case you do have some surges in your enrollment periods in the future. So great work again by the design committee. And this really all came from just going through and observing your campus as well. We talked about the discovery phase, seeing how your pickup and drop off worked, looking at potential new build sites for the new school, and then thinking about opportunities that your building has now that are really well utilized. We discovered during the programming phase that we needed to have gathering areas, right? You have 3 spaces that could function as gyms right now, which would be your elementary cafeteria, or your district cafeteria, that is. And then, of course, the middle school gym and the high school gym. And we also have the commons area at the high school. And so those gathering spaces that we need to bring to the new school were a big part of the culture and context of the new campus. CTE also being a very big priority as well. And so we went through the design process and really started to understand, of course, your history and culture and who and where Hagerman was established, but more importantly, understanding just the community fabric of Hagerman, the background, industry, how the community itself bonds together, knowing what is important to the community and how do they view this facility. And these types of things really began to influence just where and how Hagerman itself would become an important part of making sure the school fits the community perfectly and not the other way around, right? The community should never have to adjust to the school. And so that historical background then fed into site analyses. And so we began to look at what is a half-mile radius around the campus? How does the town begin to influence that, knowing where your positions were on the site, things around there. We also wanted to understand how the slope of the site began to impact the design and what this would have for the final design influences on the project. Relatively flat, which was some good opportunities for us to really think about, of course, having a nice grade that then we can shape to the campus and have the building really sit prominently on it. But then at the same time, making sure that we protect ourselves from flooding. And so we did understand that the site as itself is not within a flood zone, which was really great news, I think, for many reasons on the project. Also understanding your traffic patterns. We wanted to know, of course, with your one way and the area that we're between the two campus of the middle school and then elementary high, how does that then begin to have different traffic circulation requirements on the campus? How can we then have that work with the buses and the site coming together itself? And so we went through the schematic design process at this point after we concluded the programming process and really began to take that information and translate it from numbers to graphical square footage. So you can see each one of these numbers that we had within the programming process turned into an actual 2D shape and facility area. And it was then important for us to understand, after we talked with the committee and the new campus size was established to be a larger campus than your original award, we found through these studies that we could actually replace the gym and still get a gym about the same size as your current facility, but a brand new gym that would serve your students, staff, teachers, and community for 50 years plus. And so when we did that, we were able to really understand how that would then filter into the actual design, planning, and conceptual and schematic studies that we were going to present. And so our team got together. We have a very collaborative design process that starts with you all in mind. We first get into the information that I just presented to you, get a refresher of what's going on, and then we almost lock ourselves in a room for about 4 to 6 hours and begin to just brainstorm and find opportunities for your campus. And you can see through this collaboration, many sketches arise from it. However, we always pick the best ones that begin to have a story and feel like your campus. So here are some of those examples of the sketch and design schematic process that we had. From very rough sketches to really just looking through highlighted adjacency studies, and then of course how some of the local items that were here, whether it be through streets and or buildings that are within Hagerman, begin to influence the design of the campus. We had another superintendent and teacher tell us when they were looking at their schematic process that the sketches are so basic. They're like, wow, my elementary kid could be an architect. This is great. And that was, there's a lot of truth to that, that I think if the thought process is there and we begin to know you guys, then the big ideas begin to emerge. And that's where it takes us to the options that we have.
And like Ron was saying, we had so many ideas that we struggled to put them in 3 or 4 options. But then these were the 3 options that we first presented to the design committee. Not only just at the site plan, but on the second slide, you will see that we also presented these options kind of in an isonometric and axonometric view, just so that the design committee really understands how the building potentially can stack if we go with a 2-story. And then based upon all the feedback, the design committee eliminated one of the schemes. And as you can see, they were not 1, 2, 3 or ABC. We intentionally started calling them courtyard, windbreaker, and crossing, just so that we can fairly present them. So at the last meeting, one of the scheme was cancelled. Committee gave us some amazing feedback and asked us to develop 2 schemes further, which we did. And we presented them again to the committee last Wednesday, and the committee then eliminated windbreaker scheme and asked us to move forward with the crossing scheme. And today I want to show you the scheme that the design committee has picked. Please understand this is work in progress. You will see some things that the committee told us that are already in the scheme, but there are a lot others that we still need to bring in. This scheme started with a simple hand-drawn sketch which was focusing on the railroad crossing. In other words, how the railroads cross each other, and can that simple concept be utilized towards creating simple crossing circulation when it comes to student and staff movement. But the key aspect of this scheme was to look into and think outside the box a little bit. We all knew that we have a clean rectangular vacant land along the east side of our campus, but wanting to see, can we actually look into some more options? And with this idea came this concept where how about we actually put our classroom wing between the high school and the elementary school. That's okay. One on the next slide. One of the key reasons why the design committee chose this specific concept was, as you can see, the building in purple is the proposed new construction. And with this scheme, the entire construction will be limited to only one single phase. So the idea is we will come in, separate out the area for new construction with a secured fencing where the construction access can either come in from the north or we can bring it in from the south, and then have the elementary, the high school, the gym, the district office, and middle school continue to function as they currently do. We need to look into the details of where we need to relocate the elementary play area for the construction to happen. But once the new construction happens, then all the existing buildings will be then ready to move into this new building. And then the existing buildings will be ready for demolition as shown on the next slide. So then these buildings go down and we have our new school up and running. I will walk you through the big ideas for the selected scheme here. Let's start all the way from south. The green areas that you see are all our administrative functions, and the arrow to the right hand bottom corner indicates the dedicated access to the district office. Further, in the slide, you will also I will talk about how we can even have separate access for district office and some parking spaces there. But as a parent, you have this one single point of entry from the south side where we also have the bus drop off indicated with the blue arrows. As we come in to the left hand side on the first floor will be our pre-K and kindergarten classrooms, followed by the elementary classrooms to the west of that corridor. The beauty of orienting the classrooms this way is we are going to maximize the north and south exposure for the classrooms for natural light, which as we know is the best orientation for any teaching space. The clean vertical north-south corridor will provide access to all the core functions, including the ag classrooms, the CTE space, and at the very top, we will have the cafeteria, which is the yellow piece attached to the kitchen on the east. And then the two orange boxes further to the top are the main gym and the auxiliary gym, with the concept that whenever we have a game night, visitors can be coming in from the north side and they will have their own dedicated access to come in into the gym and the cafeteria and the auxiliary gym, while the rest of the building can be completely closed off. Where you see the yellow arrow, you see a circle there where the yellow arrow circles around. That was a concept that actually one of our Hagerman student brought up, that can we have a fountain there and kind of have an element that creates this inspiration, the pride that we are Hagerman as visiting team buses are coming by and we scream who we are. And I thought that was a great idea. So as you can see, that idea is being incorporated into the design. In the core, at the middle, we will have dedicated play areas for kindergarten as well as elementary play area. And then further, as we go to the west, we will start designing the middle school as well as the replacement outdoor play field that is currently on the east side where the new building construction is happening. As you know, there are discussions about potentially annexing the street that is currently dividing the middle school from the main campus. And in this scheme, we are thinking, okay, if it does get annexed, how nicely we can create a completely safe and secure campus. This is a two-story building. So on the second floor, on top of the elementary wing, we will have the middle school and the high school classrooms. The elements in red are the staircases. So everybody coming in from the south side will have a grand staircase to go up onto the second floor. As you come up on the second floor, you have the library, which is the purple area right in front of us, along with the middle school and high school students. One comment that we got from the committee last week was high school kids going to the cafeteria and elementary kids coming back from the cafeteria will potentially cross each other at that north-south corridor. So one of the idea mentioned was how about we allow our high school kids to continue to walk on the second floor and then go down with the third staircase right in front of the cafeteria and the gym, so that we almost have this stacking effect where our younger kids and high school kids, they don't necessarily have to mingle, they can have their own separate path. But you can see how the design concepts are enriched by every feedback that the committee is providing us. On the next slide, again, just a little bit of a feel for you all to see how the stacking now beautifully happens. We have the elementary kids on the ground floor, the middle school and high school kids on the second floor, library on the second floor, so that even our younger kids have the ability to climb the staircase. Of course, there will be an elevator as well for ADA access, and a small balcony, or a terrace, I should say, right next to the media center that will open beautifully to the north side, overlooking the play area for outdoor hands-on learning, uh, book reading, and so on. On the next slide, you will see how we are trying to create this beautiful space, but we are still constrained by all the existing buildings, which are noted by the red dash line. But if you click one more slide, once those buildings go away, you can see how the campus will now beautifully have its presence with front on the south side, the public front, and all our student focused areas are now further to the north, completely safe and secured from the public view of the campus. Any questions from the board members?
So I have a couple ideas. After our talk, we sat outside and talked, but we can discuss that at the end.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. If you go to the next slide, Juan. At this point, Juan, do you want to go over the upcoming steps?
Absolutely. And so, as we mentioned earlier, the great news is that you have approvals from PSFA and programming, and your square footage has been approved. So we are full steam ahead on the project without a real need to go back to PSCOC until you select your contractor. With that said, now we're going to begin taking on the contractual third-party vendor procurement processes. So we have started the topographic survey working with Ms. Reyes and her team. The roofing consultant and the PAC consultant, which stands for Performance Assurance Consultant. That individual will be helping to keep an eye on the design for the HVAC and then ensure throughout the construction process that the HVAC is being installed according to the design requirements noted during the design process. Same with the roofing consultant. These consultants are there and required by the Public School Facility Authority, PSFA, to protect your investment and their investment in the project. So it's like an extra pair of eyes. We'll also be doing a water flow test and quality of water testing to see the hardness requirements and pressure as well to see if fire flow and or irrigation will require booster pumps for the town of Hagerman. And then from there, we'll begin investigating the soil. Now that we have a location for the building, this is something we want to get started right away. And so geotechnical surveys will be completed during the schematic design process into the design development process so we can size our foundations and foundation type correctly. We are looking forward to coming down to visit with you all on the 28th and the presentation to staff. Somewhere in these dates too, we need to coordinate a first responders meeting while we're down in Hagerman. So either it'll be on one of the dates that we're showing here, or we'll do it shortly after at our next committee meeting. We want to make sure that we know that Hagerman is, of course, not near an urban area or even a city area. So response time for emergency responders is probably a little longer like we see in these remote communities than you would see in like an Albuquerque or even Roswell. So we want to make sure we meet with your first responders so they understand what the building design is doing, and we incorporate their comments as well for full safety and security coordination locally there that you would have for any event that happens at the school. And then, as I mentioned, we'll be there on the 28th, the presentation to staff. So as Ms. Reyes said, for the breakfast session, we're excited to see you guys then. And then, of course, the town hall presentation, we're going to be doing a presentation on the August 12th for the town of Hagerman. And then on August 12th, the community parents as well. So we're definitely wanting to show the progress that's being made to get the community excited. And we look to do this several times during the design process as it continues to develop and we have great information to show the community. So with that, I think we want to say thank you so much for all of the input that your design committees had. This has been a wonderful project. It's just been, everyone's working really great, has a great synergy together, and we stand for any questions.
John, I do have a question for the presentation for the community. Will you or maybe JL will be able to do this or at least the gist of it in Spanish?
Good point, Ms. Reyes. Yeah, I think if JL or myself or even Adriana were attending this. Mm-hmm. What's that now?
Yes, I will start learning right now.
Sanjay, we can do that.
I will be able to say thank you and welcome. That's for sure.
And this is a man that speaks 5 to 6 languages too. So Spanish is one he can add to his belt.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. We can do that.
Thank you. At least the gist will be fine.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And just to clarify, the town hall meeting, which is upcoming on 12th of August, board president and members of the board is also to talk to the town about, as you know, annexing the road, which is dividing the campus. I believe there was a first meeting that was already had with the town about it, but we basically said now that the design is moving forward, it would be a good opportunity to have some graphic and provide the town more information to help them make a decision one way or the other.
That is correct. So the first meeting, and then maybe this is a good time for Mr. Rodriguez to provide some information about that.
And so the town was really in favor of annexing or vacating that street and letting us use it as part of our campus. But they noticed that when they were looking up the lots, that there was a street called St. Charles that runs right here between Gary's shop and then where we keep the vehicles. And they were wondering if that could be turned into a road to allow access for all the residents over here to kind of, still go into their homes and then loop around if need be, and to give us a little bit of relief if needed as well. And then just kind of as we started to have those conversations during the committee, maybe it's an idea of where we can have, secondary kids being dropped off instead of at the front, kind of alleviating the traffic at the front. And it allows the entire campus to be sealed off now or at least where the kids are going to be the majority of the time.
I think Heidi was gonna pull the deed, I don't know if she did, but it looked like on the description that was already vacated along with the alleyway and everything there.
Just send it back
But,
in.
Sanjay, I'm gonna turn my, camera on and see if you can see we talked about this on the outside the other day. Well, if you can see my screen here. See it?
Yes, I can.
So, we're talking about making a main entrance right here, coming in off Oxford, and then you could come in here. We're a closed campus anyway, and if we had gates here that are, automated, we could close this campus off during the school day. And then, with a nice entrance here, all the fans, coming for sporting events, they'd be, greeted by this nice entrance right here, coming into this facility. Talking to my parents over the weekend, one of the biggest concerns anyway with this road is the student traffic, and then we're gonna add buses too, What if the city was good with that, we could make that a dead end, just a cul-de-sac with a turn in. Our security fence, kind of blocked us off, and we could tie it back into our school in the back.
Sure.
We could even run a fence across here and divide the two up for the public to use this and actually maybe not allow public access after hours into this area anyway, right?
Yes.
And then the drop off, the biggest problem is turning in on this four-way intersection. We're thinking if we could enter halfway through the block somewhere and then making a turnaround and coming out would be a little more beneficial for drop off and maybe not so many problems.
Yes, no, absolutely, I agree. Because at the last meeting, it was also discussed, instead of coming midway, could we continue going west and access from that west street, which is running parallel to the railroad? That was also a side conversation that was had last time.
Well, we could have two entrances identical, entrance here for students and buses, and then for sporting events, and then the same entrance, you can come in here and come back out too. But.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So, like I said at the last meeting, what I'm thinking of doing at the next upcoming design presentation is do exactly what you're sketching, is sketch couple of options for you all to discuss pros and cons like we did with the building, and then we can start solidifying. But I think that's a great idea. If we can bring our buses from the west side instead of the north, that allows us that longer loop to come in and then completely secure the campus and eliminate any major traffic that is currently happening on that North Street.
Right. Yeah, the biggest struggle with them, the students just driving by their house, they would be isolated. They'd, if you're going in there, you're going in there to visit somebody, not in this traffic. And even after sporting events, all that traffic going by their house, at 10 o'clock at night, is disturbing as well. So
yes.
I think it'd be a lot easier to get that annexed in there for something like that.
No, absolutely. And you know what? This is great information, because I think if you all are okay, maybe this is something in a graphic way we can also present, of course, after you all approve it, at the 12th of August meeting at the town hall.
Yes, sir.
So I believe they do have a public hearing at
It'd be public
4:30.
hearing 4:30, yeah.
And that would be a good time. I mean, if, a couple of the board members could be there as well. And
I won't be able to be there, but
Of course not. Where you going this day?
I gotta go.
All right, yeah, gotta go.
Have a meeting.
Gotta go.
Okay,
Yeah, so I don't have any more questions. I don't know if anybody has any questions on it. I just wanted to present that because we all talked about it outside after we were done with that meeting that day, so.
Thank you very much. Any additional questions?
No, sir, I got a head nod, so no, we're good.
Okay. Okay, again, board president, members of the board, and Superintendent Ms. Reyes, on behalf of Decker, I do want to thank you all for everything that you are helping us with, allowing us to work on your project. This is a really amazing project, and you can see the passion that myself along with the entire team have on this project. And we want to assure you that this level of passion will continue throughout the design phase. But again, a big thank you to the design committee and your efforts, because I say this often, we can run fast, we do it for a living, but we can only run as fast as you can run with us. And currently you're running really fast with us. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir, appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all, appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.
count me out.
No other questions? Nope. All right, so adjournment. Motion.
There, about item 8. Do you do that?
Oh, sorry.
Did I miss something?
Item 8, yeah, advance the board's work session and stuff.
Oh, yes, I apologize for that. So, we do have a schedule for August the 15th, and, this will be from 2 to 5. If you are available, we will start with the board members, and then possibly from 3 to 5, we will also include the administrators. We will be having Leanne Gandy, and she will be here and doing a short presentation for
So when, August what?
the 15th. From 2 to 5.
Not July 19th.
No,
It was July 9th.
it was, we wanted it July 19th, but then
She's gonna be gone.
Jennifer, I can't remember who else.
That week.
August 15th from 2 to 5.
Correct.
I'll be here for 2 to 5.
And then I will send you a reminder. And again, Leanne Gandy will be here, and she will do a presentation for us.
No other questions? No other things? Any motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Meeting adjourned, 7:23.
Not bad, huh?
Not even an hour, huh?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit over.
Oh, I mean, a good job. I'm gonna work remotely from Puerto Rico.